Hi there, welcome to the Quarter to Three live stream of Solar Settlers. Can I go back to the menu without quitting? Don't want to lose my game. Save. There, Solar Settlers. Oh, you know, I have a watermark over here. You can see it as Solar Settlers. I've proved it already. You're like, what? What is this? Solar Settlers. What is this little budget indie game? If you played a game called Axis and Acres from a developer who call themselves Brain Good Games, you are familiar with the Solar Settlers devs' first game. Since then, they have done Skyship Trader? No, what was it? Banana Skyboat Delivery. Dadgummit. You fly like these blimp things around and you deliver bananas and carrots and what was that called? Skyboat Trader, I think. That one didn't really work for me. They had some interesting ideas, but I didn't spend a lot of time with it. After that, they released a game called Minos Strategos. Maybe Minos Stratos, whatever. Something with Minotaurs and strategy. It was a little bit abstract. It involved matching up patterns to fight. It was kind of cool. I liked it. But still, Axis and Acres was my favorite thing they had done. And then they did this thing, which owes a lot to Axis and Acres. It's the same basic formula, but with a bit of a tweak that we're going to look at. Tom MC says, wait, 009, version 009, is this early access? It is not. This won't be available until next week. This is a beta, a pre-release beta, review build, you might say. This will be out, I believe, the 19th. Also, some real quick notes. If you'd like me to stream something on Wednesday, I do take requests. All you have to do is type into the chat channel, I vote for, and the name of any game that is on Steam or the PS2, assuming that I have it on the PS2. Jeez, Pete. You know what I've been thinking of is the remaster of Final Fantasy XII. Wasn't that a PS2 game? Or maybe, I guess, PS3. I kind of want to play that. At any rate, if I have it on the PS4, you can also request that. And the inimitable Mr. Chris Markinson, who is in the chat channel, will record your vote. You can find me on Twitter at QT3, where I will pester you with announcements about streams like this, as well as maybe, I don't know, the occasional bon mot. I don't know, it might be assuming too much about what I tweet. I am at quarterto3.com, and I've got a Patreon campaign at patreon.com/TomChick. I'd be much obliged if you'd check that out. Also, if you want to see a list of the obscure indie, are they all indie? Yeah, pretty much. Obscure hits of 2017 so far. I'm compiling a list of top 10s over last week and the next. So drop in at quarterto3.com and check out what you might have missed. All right. Let's now, Fred Uwe's voting for something called Fire Pro Wrestling. What? Look, I don't do sports. Anybody who saw me, man, well, I did win. My Chicago Pucks won against the Pittsburgh Pucks, sounds more appropriate. My Chicago Bears won against the Pittsburgh Pucks in hockey this last Wednesday. So I'm innately good at sports. It's just not my strong point. All right, so Solar Settlers is not about people who settle on a sun. That's ridiculous. Don't do that. Not a good place to start a colony. You'll burn your feet. Solar Settlers is about space settlers and the basics. Okay, you guys ready for some Tom-splaining? Get comfortable. What you're looking at, by the way, this is all you're going to be seeing for the next hour or so. But there are going to be more little icons and stuff. I can zoom in this much. That's how much it zooms. Paul Weimer correctly points out that sports is like math. There's always a 50% chance of winning. Paul Weimer, you're close. Let me ask you this question. On a curve, and therefore a sphere, how many points are there? Do some quick geometry here. If your answer was infinite, that is correct. There are an infinite number of points on a curved surface, whether you're talking about a sphere or an arc, right? As we know from Newton's, I believe, third law of thermodynamics, when you smack something, it moves in the opposite. When you apply force, things go in opposite directions of each other, right? It's basically just straightforward. If I punch something, it goes forward. it's just math. It's just a straight line. It's movement in a straight line. It's transference of kinetic energy, right? Now, if I were to hit a sphere, if I hit a square, it goes in a straight line, right? But if I hit a sphere, which has an infinite number of points that I might contact to trigger Newton's third law of dynamics, that sphere will fly off in an infinite number of directions. I have no control over that. I don't know. That is to say, when you kick a ball, it could go to the left, it could go to the right, it could go in front of you, it could go straight up in the air, it could go behind you. There's no telling. So this is what sports is. Metabaron points out any line has infinite points. Yeah, why am I making this about spheres? Oh, right. I'm making this about spheres because in sports you use a ball, which just makes it even more complicated. So there you go. That's why sports is basically a miracle. Anybody who kicks a soccer ball and it goes the direction he wants it to go in, it's magic. It's wizardry. Any athletic ability that is sufficiently advanced will appear to someone as magic, is I believe what Isaac Asimov once said. All right, anyway, enough about sports. This is not a sports game. This is solar settling. The sun is a sphere. Okay, one of my issues with this game is it doesn't surface as clearly as Axis and Acres the fact that there are cards at play here. This is the layout of the, I guess, solar system, although it's a pretty populous solar system. There's going to be a bunch of planets here. But this is the solar system, and each of these squares, believe it or not, is a face-down card. When we explore the square, it'll flip the card up and we'll know what kind of world there is. Right now, we're playing the ant people, and our home world is always this little card, Formicary. Formicary dictates the basic rules for the ant people. Humans have a bunch of different worlds, by the way. The human, I'm not really clear how that works, but every time you play a human race, you get a different kind of a home world. Every time you play the ant people, who you have to unlock, you get Formicary as your home world. So here we have Formicary. There's open space to the north and south. To the west and east is a gas world and a water world. What these icons tell us, open space does nothing, of course. You can't do anything in open space. What these icons tell us is what our colonists, and that's what these little green meeples are, can do at those worlds. Now, before we get to that, let me just show you the resources. Ignore this goal right here for a moment. This is just kind of a little goals that pull you along to give you rewards. There was something similar in Axis and Acres. Ignore this. Let me explain to you up here. Oh, wait, okay, so you guys are you guys are pretty much confirming. Oh, Arthur C. Clarke, Metabaron said the thing about any sufficiently advanced athletic prowess will appear to someone else as magic. That was Arthur C. Clarke, not Asimov. Asimov was the thing about the robots, right? Like, hey, robots, don't hurt anyone. Those were his laws of robotics. Corky says, there's a range of places you can hit a sphere to make it go in the general direction you want. Yeah, but within that range, there are infinite points, Corky. Thanks for just confirming what I said. And it is all about physics, he said. Right, I guess, the problem is it's just really difficult. With so many points of contact, it's really difficult to hit a sphere and make it go in the direction you want. Because each point is at a different angle, right? It's just impossible. Just don't try. You know what, if your friends invite you to go out into a grassy field and kick a ball around, just say, no, you know what, I'm sorry. I'm more into like science and the arts rather than trying to defy the laws of physics. Just say that to them. All right, so up here we have gasoline, which is a little hydrogen atom. Is that a hydrogen atom? Now let's get into chemistry. We have oxygen in tanks, O2. And we have, I don't know what this is, metal, rock, metal. We'll call this metal. So we've got 5 hydrogens, 2 oxygens. We have 3 colonists, though, and each colonist needs to breathe an oxygen. If we don't get another oxygen in our stores before we hit in turn, someone's going to suffocate. It's not a good way to run a team of settlers. Metal will need to build stuff later. I'll explain that. These are this is basically our victory point goal. We need to settle 14 colonists. We have settled 0 of those. We suck at this so far. And then finally, here's our military power. You need military power to go to the fringes of the solar system. All right, like I said, ignore this for now. Here's our opening hand of cards. Every card can be used for one of two things. Either what the card says, in which case you play it on the board and transform a space, or this little icon at the bottom, you can just right-click and cash in the card for that resource. So for instance, if I really need another fuel, a hydrogen, I can just right-click on the Watchful Hermit. It's no longer a Watchful Hermit. It gets discarded, but I get a hydrogen, a fuel. Pony Carnival thinks this is water. No, Pony Carnival, it's oxygen. Why would you put water in a scuba tank? Pony Carnival, I'm never going scuba diving with you. All right, so we have 3 settlers. What are we going to do with them? Here's where we know that they need oxygen to breathe. Here's where hydrogen comes in handy, and I'm just going to call it fuel, space fuel. Each time I move a guy 1 space, I left-click to select a location. If there's a colonist, it activates one of them. Then I right-click to send them. Whoops. Sorry, I left-click and then I left-click. Right-click only zooms in on a card. Now, I have moved, and you'll notice it used a hydrogen. Each time you move 1 dude, 1 space, it takes 1 hydrogen. It doesn't exhaust the dude or anything. I could walk the guy back and forth all I want until I run out of hydrogen. That's what hydrogen's for. Hydrogen's for moving your dudes. Oxygen is for them breathing. Now, every time I move, I get to scout an adjacent space. And this is where I have a bit of an issue with the game's presentation of cards. We have seen lately some phenomenally implemented video game versions of card games. Obsidian's video game version of Pathfinder Adventures, Age of Rivals, and others. I think one of the issues with Solar Settlers is it's not really surfacing how the cards work very well. So there are basically cards here. If I click on one of these, it's going to flip over the card, and I'm going to see what kind of world there is. That's easy enough. But here's another thing: is this big old planet in the background of this is kind of noisy. I really like the simplicity and elegance of Axis and Acres, which goes with its rustic theming, kind of. In their attempt to do science fiction here, I think it's just a little. There's a bit. This background is just a bit of inconsequential noise that I kind of wish wasn't there. I'd rather see a bunch of cards laid out flat with some kind of cool science fiction back. You know, a spaceship on the back or something. At any rate, let's explore. We're going to explore down here. We now have a rock world. And you'll note, the guy who explored the gas world, he's still raring to go. He hasn't been dimmed out yet. Now, if I have 1 dude on a gas world and I have that dude do an action, I'm going to get 4 fuel. The problem is, the more dudes you put at work, it's sort of like overpopulation. If I have 2 dudes on a gas world, each time one of them takes an action, they'll only make 2 fuel. So this gas world right here doesn't have a lot of infrastructure. I'm going to change that later. But for now, I am going to mine the gas world for 4 fuel. Okay, we need oxygen. Jungle planets give you oxygen. So let's come out here. There we go. Now, you'll note I moved this guy out. I discovered a water world. On a water world, 1 guy doing an action draws you a new card. Awesome. 2 guys doing actions. And note, this doesn't mean both guys' actions are used. If I have 2 guys, each time one of those 2 guys, 2 or more by the way, does an action, I'll get 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. So a water world right now, I don't really need it. Let's come down here to the jungle world. Now, see this right here? I can't explore this far out until I have 3 military points. I have 0. How do I get those? Well, you'll note this hunting colony. That's going to give me 1 military point. All right, so I can't explore that. I don't even know why it's highlighted. Well, I guess it's highlighted so it can tell me, hey, you don't have enough military. But we'll explore down here. Open space is boring. And we'll go ahead and have this guy work oxygen off of the jungle world. Now we're set, by the way. Nobody's going to suffocate. Now, we've got to get 14 people settled in habitats. See this hunting colony and mining colony? They've got room for 1 person. So we've basically got to build up our infrastructure to make room for 14 people to live. We've only got 3. How are we going to get more people? How are we going to settle 14 citizens when there are only 3 of them here? How do I make my ant people have sex and make baby ant people? Well, that's what this card tells you. Now, there are certain worlds. There are like, there are some Genesis vats you can find. There are artificial worlds. What are some of the other cards that give you things? Oh, there's like some sort of weird experimental lab on gas planets. But there's infrastructure you can build that gives you free people. Until you get that stuff, though, also you'll note I can discard this infested colony and ignore what the card says and instead just cash it in for a colonist. The way the ants work is whenever I upgrade a world, meaning put one of these cards on another world, it births a new ant. So let's go ahead and upgrade. Did we have a rock world? Let's upgrade this rock world. So you will note if I want to use this colony, it says cost 3 iron. I don't have any iron. These other things are free. Actually, I think I want the Watchful Hermit at this point. Now, I upgraded. You'll note, hey, that was a rock world. It's not a rock world anymore. It's now a Watchful Hermit. That's right. Furthermore, see this number down here? This is the number of cards in this stack. There are... And this is it's not unique to the ant people, but the ant people have cards that take advantage of this. There are cards that are based on how many are in the stack on which they're placed. So that's what this number is telling us. However, this is no longer a regular rock world. This is basically where Obi-Wan Kenobi lives. He's a Watchful Hermit. One guy here will give us a card and a medal. If I crowd it up with 2 people, I'm not getting any cards. The Hermit just goes away. Instead, I'm just getting regular 2 medal. All right, so let's actually go down here, and let's go ahead and get another card. A Warrior Commune. So we can play this over our jungle world, which will not affect the base oxygen it creates if there's one dude there. But when people team up on a Warrior Commune, I convert metal into military points, which will let me explore out here. All right, got plenty of oxygen. We have what? Okay, let's see. Now, you'll note this Watchful Hermit placed on the rock world. It's no... Oh, it is still a rock world. I don't know how I feel about that. I guess it's color-coded. Because, see, this doesn't say rock world anymore. All right, never mind. All right. We'll just have to accept that. Okay, so let's see. This guy... We'll head over here. Another jungle world. Let's move him out there and just start racking up oxygen so people can breathe. And, excuse me, let's... okay, we'll just go with that. This down here is telling me how many people I have with actions left. If I wanted to upgrade something, maybe I will upgrade one of these. Let's go ahead and put this Warrior Commune out here. And that gives us another dude to play with because we got plenty of oxygen. We could use more fuel. We'll deal with that later. Let's head up here and see what we've got on this border. Open space. I've got 1 fuel left. Don't want to shoot. All right, well, I'll burn it and put that there. All right, there's a gas world. I can't move him. Otherwise, I'd love him to go up there. Well, we'll get it next turn. Do we have any? Oh, shoot. We don't have any fuel income. Dagnabbit. All right, well, hopefully I'll be able to get cards next turn. Yeah, the Watchful Hermit. All right, this is a bit of a screwy situation. I should... Don't pretend this game is played by someone who doesn't know what he's doing. If I wasn't Tom-splaining so much, I might not have backed myself into a corner. Let's actually get rid of this. No, we just need 1 fuel. Come on. There we go. All right, there. You didn't see anything. Nothing happened. All right, so he's gone up here to this gas world. He's going to give us more gas. Oh, I could have gotten gas from here. Duh. Let's see. Let's fill up on some oxygen. Orbital Lab is going to cost 2 metal, which we've got, and you'll note at an Orbital Lab, one person can do an action, which gives you 2 fuel, or an extra person. We definitely want this. We'll put it next to our home world. Now, you'll note I didn't get a person, because it's only when you upgrade a world. When you upgrade open space, it doesn't make more ants. Don't be crazy. Our Warrior Commune guy, more oxygen. Now, you'll note we don't have... let's come over here and get a card. Aha, I like this, but you have to cluster a lot of people on it. So you'll note the industrial mine. If you get 3 people there, each of them doing the action of mining, you will get 9 metals. Which is a little bit advanced for us, actually. We're not quite ready for that. All right, everybody's gone. Let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead and just end the turn. Oh, now here's the deal, by the way. Yikes. All right. The way the game works, I'm at level 10, is it gets increasingly difficult. I have to get a size 14 colony in 7 turns. Previously, this is the first time it's happened, actually. I've had 8 turns to do that. Excuse me, rounds. Oh, and you'll note, as soon as I do this goal, as soon as I gain another settler, I'm going to win this card right here, which is a Cloud City, which is something that can house people based on the height of the stack. Okay. Do I want to burn one of my jungle worlds? I don't think so. I am going to go ahead and get rid of this for now. And let's march him down here. Oh, shoot. That's not a regular. Yeah, and we'll just get a couple of medals out of that. And... oh, this is silly, of course. The Watchful Hermit. Oh, no, he gives us a card and a medal. That's another thing about the background, is this little... so there's a big old orange planet back here, which, yeah, pretty, whatever. If I right-click here, I see the Watchful Hermit gives me a card, and you can barely see it against the background, a medal. When that's not zoomed in, I just think I'm only getting the card there. So, yeah, I would love to be able to turn off this background. Let's go ahead and put that in place there. And we are going to now move our new guy down here. And since now we have 3 people, each time someone does work, I'm getting 3 metal. I'm now loaded up on metal, which is good. Okay, I'm ending my turn. Now, oh shoot, I let someone suffocate because a new guy came in. All right, who are we going to kill? You, dude. Now, we met our goals, so now we get to choose one of 2 new goals. By gaining oxygen, which I'm positive we're going to do, I'll get this transport tower, which gives people extra movement based on the height of the stack. This will be a good way to get another point of stacking underneath our eventual Cloud City. A bioplatform. This burns hydrogen to get water. I'm sorry, water. I'm T-zoning it now. That's what Tony called it before, to get oxygen. I'm going to go ahead and take this one. All right, let's get some fuel going. I'm good with metal at the time for the time being. Let's go ahead and get oxygen. Come over here. And instead of getting oxygen, shoot, it's a long way to go. Let's upgrade. I'm probably going to regret this, but I want to get this guy here, get him here, upgrade these. All right, so now we've got 5 points of military, so we can start exploring these worlds out here. And these worlds out here, in order to get 14 living spaces, I can either wait until I get good cards like Cloud Cities, or if you push your exploration out, you find different kinds of cards that are more likely to be cool exotic cards, which we'll see in a moment. Let's have you give me some fuel. You now can explore. So here's a space that takes 5 military to explore. And, oh, this is awesome. So it has a Nova Gate. What is a Nova Gate? Anybody who starts his turn on a Nova Gate, when he moves, actually he doesn't have to start his turn. He can just walk to it. And then when he moves off of it, he can go anywhere on the map he wants. Nova Gates are great. And I think, and this isn't something that's clear in the rules, here's what the rules consist of. This screen, and this screen. Now, the game is simple enough that these 3 screens pretty readily spell out how to play. Like, Axes and Acres had some really difficult interface issues. It was really hard to wrap your head around what they were trying to express with the interface. I don't think that's an issue here. It's pretty clear that you click something and something happens. It's pretty clear that, okay, 1 dude makes this, 3 dudes will make these. These are the cards I have to play with. They do this. I click on a card, make it happen. Axis and Acres wasn't quite that easy. It had all this esoteric stuff about, yeah, you place the die, and then you move the die, and then you power the die with another die, but if you want to make more dice, it takes 2 dice powered by 2 dice, and there's a lot of esoteric stuff in the rules there that once you learn it, it's a really gratifying game. And I think ultimately I do like Axis and Acres better than this. This is cool. This is slick. It plays quickly and easily. But, okay, so one of the issues I have with this is, are Nova Gates only ever appearing underneath these 5 things? Because I think they are. I think there are certain cards, and also I don't know, like, what's the size of the deck that I'm drawing from? Is there a size? When I go to like, is there any distribution to the deck? Am I just as likely to get a Cloud City the first time? Are there cards that only come up as goals? And I don't know the answer to that. So at any rate, the Nova Gate is a hugely helpful way to get around the map without having to spend a lot of hydrogen. There are a couple of other ways. There are military installations, and I might be wrong about this. This is another thing that I'm not sure about. When you play the humans and when you play the Formids, the ant people, I know there are cards that I've seen in the ant deck that I don't think I've seen in the human deck. And I'm even saying deck, assuming that there is a deck at work, right? There are military cards that let you move 2 spaces for 1 hydrogen. They basically double your movement allowance or halve your hydrogen consumption. I don't think the ants have those. I could be wrong about that. I think those are unique to humans. I don't know. There is something you can put on a water world called it's like a hydrogel laboratory. It has a science fiction name that does the same thing as the military planets, which lets you move 2 spaces for 1 hydrogen. I know the ants can get that, but we don't have one. But at any rate, we do have a Nova Gate, which will help us get around. Okay, we're going to need more oxygen. I don't want to let people suffocate. We've got 2 people to move and shoot. Yeah, I shouldn't have messed up that jungle world. All right, let's do this. Oh, dagnabbit. Is there a 5 we can explore? No. We'll come up here. Okay, sometimes, and I think this is only in open space, events happen. Now, when you play this, there's a screen of unlockables I'll show you later. Amongst the unlockables are certain kinds of events, and that wasn't clear either. Like I've unlocked an alien event and a merchant event. And it said, hey, you unlocked this. And it wasn't clear when it said that this was a random encounter that only takes place on open space. This is not one of them. This is something that you begin with. So I now have 3 options. I can either take a card, I can take 2 oxygen, which I'm going to take, or I can cash in this crewman for 3 metal. I'm going to take the oxygen because that's our current crisis here. And we just need 2 more oxygen. We've got 2 more dudes with actions. Let's come on out here and take a look at another 5er. Deserted habitat. This is good. You spend 2 metal and it'll make a habitat for 4 people. We need to get this number here up to 14. Right now it's at 1, and then fill it up with people. Shoot. All right. I think people are going to suffocate. Let's see. Where else can I go? Dagnabbit, I don't have... 1... Ah, here we go. This is just what I needed. All right, a jungle world, and you... To be a productive citizen... Oh, shoot. Come over and over here and get us a card. Here we go. Propulsion gel plant. That's what I was thinking of. For a cost of 1 metal, we can put it on a water world, and then it doubles our movement for each hydrogen. Okay, nobody's going to suffocate. I'm definitely seeing a shortage of... There are certain cards you can play that give you a per-turn income. I have none of those. How is that fair? All right, am I more likely to gain 8 fuel? That's likely. Or to settle 2 people? So do I want a Cloud City or a bio platform? Since we've got 2 jungle worlds, let's go for the Cloud City. All right, now we need to settle 2 people. So let's settle him there. And... Oops. Dadgummit, I accidentally drew a card. Fine, I'll take that. And then you... Why can I not move? Oh, because I have no fuel. Duh, gosh. Oh, I'm so retarded. There. Ah, an infested colony. All right, we've settled 2 people. We finished the goal. We're going to need some oxygen. Get off of there. And then you give us 3. We're still needing more fuel. Oh, shoot. Yeah, I should have put this in play. I need metal for that. It's much easier to play this when I'm not explaining it. That's true of any game. Sources of metal. There aren't any unless I want to stock up on that industrial. Well, all right, I'm going to cash in this and then put this propulsion gel lab there. All right, so now it'll double our movement, and plus it gave us another dude. We're going to need more oxygen. And so 7 oxygen, 7 people. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get another card from him. Oh, good. A Metropolis is great. It costs a lot of metal, but it will house 4 people. JC Lebedev says, I think this would be more appealing with some art. JC Lebedev, maybe you can't see, but look, art. It's a transport tower. Art. There's buildings back there. Look, art. It's a planet. But yeah, I think you're right. Art other than this noisy backdrop. Like, that's something that's really not working for me. Left Empty says, I don't think they have any money for art, which is why their games are so inexpensive. Okay, so let's see if we can get some more oxygen. I can bring a new person out. I'm actually going to need some metal now. All right. Shoot a monkey. All right, we don't have any more people. Do I want to use any of these cards? I don't want to use that. Oh, bubble pods. Okay, good. This is what I'd like to get. I'm going to run out of time. So bubble pods is an example of something that has production. If I build bubble pods, I'm getting 1 oxygen per turn. But I need metal for that. All right, I just drank all my oxygen. Upgrade 3 planets or gain 8 fuel. Neither one will give us a bioplatform. I think we're more likely to, although upgrades at this point are going to require metal. Let's take that one. Okay, we need it. So we now have 5 habitat spaces. We're going to have 3 more turns, including this one, to get 9 more habitat spaces going. We've got 6 in our hand. They're going to require a lot of metal. And to then get people to those spaces and settle them. And you'll note when you settle someone, it takes the person off of the board. They don't require oxygen anymore, but they are no longer productive citizens. And one of the places I have to settle is way the heck up here in the corner. All right, this is not looking good. All right, well, we're going to need oxygen, but I'm going to do some shenanigans with fuel because I want to explore out here. So let's pull this guy back, and then let's pull this guy forward so we can explore that. It's another water world. I really need some metal. Let's get oxygen. We'll get more oxygen here. Oh, shoot a monkey. Okay, here's a rock world. I can't get anyone up there. Dagnabbit. Oh, I'm doing so poorly. Alright, so work this rock world. It's a bit late to begin. Yeah, we need the bubble pods. So these can go on any world. Let's put them up here. Okay, what else can we do? This guy can head over to, I guess, up here. Shoot, we're low on oxygen again. Isn't that always the case? All right, we'll bring him over here and then get oxygen. And we have 1 fuel left with which we will, oh shoot, come down here and get more gas. I might not win this round. All right, oh, I've got 1 dude. And he will, JC Lebedev says, does the game end after 7 rounds? It does. Corky asks an excellent question. Can you lay a card on top of something that has a full settlement? You can if the card has the capacity for extra settlers. So I could lay this on top of a hunting colony or a rock world so long as it doesn't exceed the number of settlers there. They just move right into the metropolis. But that's a very good question. All right, we're going to need 7 more living spaces. Okay, we have 1 more turn here. Everybody's good with oxygen. I could use a metal, but let's see. I've got some gas. Do I take the card? I guess just take the card. Shoot a monkey. Yeah, let's just take the card. And now let's cash in some of these cards. All right. Oh, shoot. Well, so this will give us metal, which I'm going to cash in. And now that I have 4 metal, I'm going to build a metropolis on... Let's put the metropolis... I guess underneath this water world. It can't go on a gas world. And that gives us another person. And then let's right-click this, which will give us the oxygen for that person. Oh, shoot, I could have walked over and settled. That's all right. And then let's come up here, and let's get another person. And then let's move that person and settle in the metropolis so he doesn't drink up some oxygen. All right. There we go. All right, this is the penultimate turn. You'll note our capacity is getting up there. We've got 9 people, so this actually might happen. Am I more likely this turn to gain 4 metal or 6 oxygen? I know the answer to that. Now, looking at these, you might think, well, you're not going to need either of those. You know, what do you care about the cards after a certain point? Remember, a card can be cashed in for a good or a citizen, and this is random, I believe. I don't think it's like every Cloud City always gives you a citizen. I think it just randomly couples one of the icons to every card. So, for instance, I've got a transport tower here that'll give me an oxygen. I don't think I can assume this transport tower will also give me an oxygen. But actually, let's pay attention to that so we can confirm whether that's the case here. All right, so that's what we're getting. We're going to need oxygen. The warrior commune will give us oxygen. In the jungle world, let's move one of these guys off. Oh, have I been not using my stupid gel plant? Yeah, look, I can move 2 spaces. I don't think I've needed to. All right, oxygen. All right, so pretty much everyone can breathe once we have this guy live there. So we've got 7 people. 5 people are settled. We've got to settle 9 more. We've got 11 spaces. This settlement here, we only got 2 more turns to do this. One stack. Actually, the Cloud City, but that needs metal. This will give us 1 metal. All right, well, let's do this to get some metal going. Now, the Cloud City can go on a stack of 3 cards or higher, and it'll have 1 habitation spot per card. Here, this industrial mine is a stack of 3 cards. So we put that there. It's going to be a capacity 4 habitat, which will give our total capacity up to 15. At which point, we just need to spawn people and move them into their, little homes. Now, we're going to need gasoline. And let's just start moving people and settling them. Oh, do we need that? No, we don't even need this world. We'll be able to use this for fuel. All right. Now, you'll note, because we have this propulsion gel plant, every time I move someone, he can move 2 spaces for 1 hydrogen, which is going to make my life a lot easier. Who else do we have? And this tells us down here, ready, 0. Now, if I wanted to quickly bring in a new citizen, which I think I will, I could upgrade a world. Because remember, the ants, every time you upgrade a world, they add a new person. We've got 2 oxygen to spare, so everything looks fine. We could even use that if we needed to. So let's upgrade the Nova Gate, because why not? And let's upgrade the transport tower that we just upgraded from the Nova Gate, because why not? All right, so we've got 2 people here. We will move them and settle. All right, so we're going to have 1 more turn. As long as these 5 people can be settled in 4 of these available 7 out of 17 spaces, 10 are filled, we're going to pass. Fine. Hey, it's Brett Lowy, one of the guys who made this game. Hi, Brett. Okay, next turn. Now, at this point, it's kind of moot, because if we, well, it's not entirely moot. If we achieve either of these goals, then we're going to immediately get the card. And remember, the card can be good for a resource down here. There's no way I'm going to be building up power. Actually, there's no way I'm going to do either of these, because I'm just going to walk people over to their new homes. You live there. You, let's go ahead and explore this while we're here. Good. You live there. And oh, shoot, we're out. Oh, dagnabbit. Okay, yeah, give ourselves more gasoline. And we just need to settle 2 more people. You settle there, and we just now need to settle 1 more person, and we have 1. There we go. So what happened? I just won. What do I get for that? Well, watch this. You're going to get XP. You can see down here I am level 10. Is this my overall level or just my ant people level? I'm not sure. I'll look at that. No, okay, this is my ant people. Here's my overall level. Here are the points I got. I didn't quite ding up to level 13. Okay, look. You have unlocked a new race. So this is the 3rd race I've unlocked. Are these the... Yeah, I think they're the reptile people. I've played their planet. There's a weekly challenge you can play that lets you access content that you might not have unlocked. So these guys' special ability is every turn they lose all their oxygen stores, which is no big deal. You're generally using all your oxygen as you get it anyway. But they gain oxygen by uncovering new spaces. So I don't know what makes that. I guess is that sort of like an amphibious thing? Is you can breathe underwater? I don't know. But they earn free oxygen by exploring. They can earn it regularly otherwise. But I just now unlocked that, so look at this. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Dagnabbit. It's not going to make a difference because if I quit that game, it counts as a loss, and it can impact my level. So you'll see down here, I can play the ants. I can play the raccoon. Now here's where I'd like to get a tooltip to know just exactly what they are. And I think the raccoon, their little homeworld, I think it's called Reptilius, will always specify, hey, when you explore you get oxygen, but every turn you lose all your oxygen. And that homeworld is one hard and fast rule. I don't think you can ever play a card over your homeworld, which would invalidate that rule. So, and then I can also play the humans, and I think the thing about the humans is there's maybe 3 or 4, maybe just 3 homeworlds, and I think it randomly determines which homeworld you get when you play humans. All right. So Brett Lowy, a couple of questions. What can you say about how decks work? Like, are there cards that only pop up? And I believe this is the case. Are there cards that only pop up when you're playing human, cards that only pop up when you're playing Formids, and cards that only pop up when you're playing the Raccoon? Oh, I can look here. So the weekly challenge is where, let's see what it actually is. Yeah, Reptilius. You can play that homeworld. Here are... Oh, so this does kind of spell out the deck. So, Brett Lowy, are these the only cards that will appear? And if so, how come we can't get this information when we play the game normally? And I do know these goal cards, I think the Orbital Lab, I think I've seen. These goal cards, I think Terraform World I just unlocked also. But these temple cards and the shrines, those are unique to the reptile people, right? So Brett Lowy says, a race determines your home world, which is a basic core gameplay mechanic, and what goal cards you can gain. Okay. And for the weekly challenge, those are all the cards that can come up in the deck, so you only get these cards. When I play normally, Brett, is there similarly a list that's this short? Because if so, it seems like that'd be kind of a cool thing to know, what kind of things will come up in your game. Oh, did I? Look here, I've already played it. Somebody's hacking. There's no way this guy settled 35 settlers during this game, because I think it's only like 6 turns or something. This is a cheater. He's hacked into it. Brett, knock that off of there. I don't know who Pet is, but I don't know why I'm underneath him. Whatever the tiebreaker is, he won. So I've already done the weekly challenge. I don't think you get XP for the weekly challenge. If I'm wrong about that, I take it back. But if I'm right about that, I'm officially grumbling. Brett Lowy says, no, when you play normally, the list of cards is a lot longer, which makes sense. Now look at this. Unlocks. Sweet. Look at that. Oh, look. Now, why is B.D. Niermeyer 0 above me? What tiebreaker did he win? How is that fair? And again, this Ken Bustu guy, obviously cheating. There's no way someone has 134 when, given how much I've played this thing, I've only got 20. Here's a little something that I'm... Yeah, Brett says Ken Bustu is amazing at these games. Yeah, amazing for how he's probably using a hex editor to change values. How does he do that? I'd like to see a replay of that. Oh, Brett's correcting me and says you do get XP for weekly challenges. Okay, good to know. That makes sense. Now, here's the thing that I'm... So you can see there's 5 races. I unlocked 3 of them. Now, the advancement in this is pretty slow. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if that's something they're tuning. I don't know if that's intentional. But there's only 5 races. Well, only 5 races. There are 5 races. I know when you play the humans, they have multiple home worlds. I'm not sure if that's the case with these other races, if each one always has the same home world. But you'll also note what a bit of a grind it is to unlock each race. So to unlock these Raccoon, I had to win 15 times as the Formids. my human games didn't count towards unlocking the Raccoon, only these. Now, alternatively, this one game at rank 20 with the Raccoon, I'm not entirely sure. So I can play one game at rank 20 plus with these guys. I guess that's if I don't get 20 wins. Because even if you lose, you get XP towards this race's level. So if I am so bad at this game that I lose and lose and lose as the Raccoon, I keep losing, eventually, even though I'm losing, I'm racking up experience points and I'm getting this race to level 20. As soon as I play one game, once I've gotten these guys to level 20, then I'll unlock the Yawn. Otherwise, if I win 20 games as the Raccoon, I will unlock the Yawn. And 20 games is a fair number. So the other unlocks are these cards. And here's where I have a little bit of trepidation about this. There are only 3 more cards for me to unlock? That doesn't seem like very many. And does this also count things like the cards that are, like the encounters in open space? Because if you see, like, I've got plenty of content to go. I'm not even halfway through in terms of playing the Raccoon. Brett Laurie says there's definitely more cards incoming. Okay, good. And to you guys' credit, so these little things that I might be griping about with Solar Settlers, actually, if I press play, is it going to let me start a Raccoon game without dinging me for... Yes, it is. Okay. When Axis and Acres first came out, I really, really liked it, but I had some complaints. I had some issues with the presentation, some of the interface stuff, and Brain Good Games was remarkable over the coming weeks after its release of polishing some of that stuff up. Like Axis and Acres at its release was very different from Axis and Acres a month after its release, which also is very different from Axis and Acres, which I just booted up last night. That thing has been getting lots of love and attention from them. And keep in mind, they've done 2 games since then. So it's not like they're orphaning games and then just leaving them and moving on to the next thing. So my minor gripes about Solar Settlers that you might be hearing in this stream, I will bet you dollars to donuts Brain Good Games is paying attention when folks like us might have some complaints, and they're working on addressing those complaints and adding content. So... Brett says, yeah, definitely more stuff, but he's just not trying to make too many bugs right before launch. Right. Okay, so here we have, and this will be my 3rd game. I think I played them twice in weekly challenges as the Reptile People. I'm afraid I'm going to embarrass myself. I actually kind of want to go back. Oh, no, okay. So this was a mechanic in Axis and Acres as well, which I really liked. So when you first play a game of Axis and Acres, it gives you something like 200 turns, which is ridiculous, to get 20 victory points. And that you could basically you could just randomly move pieces around having no idea what you're doing. And the odds of doing something to accidentally get victory points within 200 turns, pretty much 100%. And as you do that, as you play games, those restrictions for the turn limit and the score threshold to win get closer and closer and tighter, and the game gets more difficult. If you lose repeatedly, it then scales back the difficulty. It's a really clever dynamic difficulty adjustment. Whereas most people, for their difficulties, just say, hey, normal bad guys have 10 hit points. Hard, they have 20 hit points. Easy, they have 5 hit points. They don't adjust, they just change the size of their hit point bags or the amount of damage or the resource advantage the AI gets. What Brain Good Games does is, as you play, they tighten the requirements for successfully winning, the victory conditions, basically. And it's a dynamic difficulty adjustment that doesn't break the core gameplay mechanics. It doesn't force you to learn to play differently. If I play a game and get used to the enemy having 10 hit points, that's great. When I then go to playing on hard and suddenly they've got twice as many hit points, that just feels cheap to me. So the dynamics never change here, but the thresholds for successfully winning a game get tighter and tighter as you get better and better. So I love their approach to difficulty levels. I wish more developers would take note of that. So that said, I was just now saying, oh gosh, this is only my 3rd time playing the Reptiles. I'm going to embarrass myself. No, I'm not. I've got 10 rounds to settle 8 people. This is not going to be difficult. But what I wanted to do was show you a difficult game with the humans who have these cool different homeworlds. But before I do that, let's go ahead and play through this and get a level in reptile people. All right, so here's their unique gameplay mechanic. When they explore, meaning uncover one of these spaces, they gain an oxygen, but they deplete all their oxygen at the end of the turn. Oh, I love this. And their production, they get a free card every turn. That's going to be sexy. Because remember, a card is an upgrade to a world or a free resource of some sort. All right, so the opening move in this is kind of like chess. Every time I've played this game, my opening move with my 3 starting people, and there's some sort of way that this is jiggered, because I don't think it's ever been an issue. Find 1 gas planet to get fuel, find 1 jungle planet to get oxygen, and what's the other one? I guess find a rock planet. Well, let me move around and remember. Oh, it's if I want to deal with a rock planet, I think. Yeah, okay, so there's our jungle planet for oxygen. Oh, yeah, so a rock world, right. A rock world to try to get some iron going. All right, so we're going to stock up on fuel, stock up on oxygen, and then you come over here and give us a fuel and a metal. Let's see, do we want to upgrade anything? Okay, look at this. All right, so the reptile planet, Reptilius, gives me a free card every turn. This is awesome. You didn't see much of this in my Formid game. I think it was just the unluck of the draw. But this per-turn production is a huge boon. Look at this gas world here. 1 guy works it, I get 4 gasoline, 4 hydrogen, that's great. If I overcrowd it, then they get less hydrogen per action. But look at this fuel depot here. Oh, shoot. I just discarded the card I really wanted. All right, that's no big deal. It was going to give me 1 free fuel every turn. What did I even get for it? Dagnabbit. That was on me. That was an interface issue. Dagnabbit! Oh, I'm so bad. All right. Okay, it gave me this colonist. All right, well, you can march over here. Another jungle world. That's good. Go ahead and staff that. Oh, now here's an issue, by the way. And this is, well, not unique to the reptiles, but some of the other planets will, some of the other homeworlds give you free colonists. The reptiles don't have any way to get additional colonists. I am stuck with these 4 dudes until I get a world out that creates colonists. So let's hope we get one. Now the advantage is the home planet is giving us a new card every turn, so we're sure to get something sooner or later. Okay, you come back here, and then you guys, Waterworld gives us more cards. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, get here. Oh no. All right. Well, that's not great. This is something, of course, that aids movement. When you walk off of a deployment center, it doesn't require any hydrogen. You'll also note we have military power. Like, we have the cards to get enough military power to start unfogging these. And Brett, I'm curious, what is the rule behind these 3s, 5s, and 8s? There are certain cards that only appear underneath those icons, right? Yeah, Left Empty says there's an undo in Minos. There might be one here, too. I don't think there is. Oops. And just to let you guys know, that is literally, if that's not the first time I've done it, it's not an issue I've been having. It's just me not concentrating because I'm explaining the game to you guys. You're welcome. All right, let's see. So this is free, by the way, and it only slightly impacts the gas we're earning from that world. And since we don't have, oh, actually we could use this to get a dude out. I think we're going to do that. We want the extra colonist. We don't really need to start settling people. Oh, look at this. Processing facility. So if you have a good source of metal, which we do, we can put a couple of people on this rock world. A processing facility lets you cash it in for buku fuel or oxygen. Let's see. We definitely are going to need more fuel. So let's put you there. We'll put the processing facility. What do I want to lose? I don't really have anything I want to give up yet. Those. We'll put it, shoot, on this stupid water world, I guess. Now note, I've got 10 turns. This is the game to make mistakes in. Let's see, Brett says there's an undo for certain things. Discarding cards isn't one of them yet. And he says the 3 military sectors have stronger versions of the basic worlds. Oh, the 5 and 8 have deep space cards. Those are those encounters. And as he points out, and as the icon says here, the 8s also let you draw a card. Deep space encounters. Ah. So those are the things where you have 3 choices. Those are unique to the 5s and 8s. Is that correct? If so, that's cool to know. All right, do I want to burn any of these yet? No. All right, we've breathed all of... Oh, Genesis Vats is exactly what we want. Our prayers have been answered. Because the reptiles don't have any way to automatically generate colonists, Genesis Vats are now that. So we are going to convert this water world into a Genesis Vat. We're going to have this guy come up here. Let's make sure... No, we are exploring. Let's make sure we've got a good supply of gas. Let's get over here and get some oxygen going. Can we get... We have enough... fuel to get him over here for more oxygen, and we now will start availing ourselves of the advantage of these Genesis Vats and come over here to start getting fuel going. Now look at all this metal we've got. This processing facility, we can use it to get, if we've got 1 guy working there, hydrogen. If we've got 2 guys working there, they can crank out oxygen. Let's go ahead and burn 1 metal because we don't have anything to spend metal on at this point. To just load up on hydrogen. Sweet. Brett says, ooh, good draw. Yeah, so one of the gratifying things with this game is as you're learning it, you will note things like, you know, that this is a cause for excitement. Like this is a distinct gameplay thrill to be thinking, God, I need something that generates people. Oh, when is it coming up? Where is it? And then you're like, oh, a Genesis Vat. Cool. Like that's a cool thematic thing. To long for and be pleased at the appearance of a Genesis Vat. There's also something on Gas Worlds. I forget what that's called. I think it's like something laboratory that makes people. Is it like a cloning lab? I forget. So there's one for the water planet, and there's one for the gas planet. Yeah, so Brett confirms that open space, these 5s and 8s, are where you get a choice of different things. But we don't have the military power, although we can actually get that set up. Let's go ahead and put that there for 2 military power. Now, I hate to burn one of our jungle worlds, which we're using for oxygen. I'm going to save that for now. Oh, you know, it will meet this goal. Okay, this might be dangerous. But we're at... Oh, shoot, did I just discard? No, I didn't. Okay. So we now have 3 military power. Everybody's moved. We don't want to burn the... I don't see getting a stack going. It'll give us a... So we can basically discard this to get another card, which I think I'm going to do. I don't foresee setting up stacks in this. A wormhole. All right. So this goes in open space, and it's a direct link between your homeworld. And we'll hang on to that for now. All right. Oh, Sky Boats. That's the name of the game I was trying to think of. That I was calling like Banana Boat or Sky Bananas or Sky Carrots. Sky Boats. All right, temples. So these are unique to the reptile race. What are they? Raccoon? Am I misremembering that? The people from Reptilius. If we gain 3 people, which is something we're going to be working on, it'll happen slowly. Jungle World. A Temple of Discovery. When this comes into play, unexplored. Oh, wow, that is cool. So I've never seen this. And this is an example of the gameplay mechanics in this are pretty simple. But one of the things that I really like that Brain Good Games is doing is mixing it up in distinct, cool, thematic ways. So only the reptile people get this discovery that will flip all open spaces. Now, what does that do, Brett, to if there's an open space here that offers me 3 choices? Like, do I have any way of knowing that I haven't explored it yet? You know, we might take this and find out. Or just explore 5 sectors, spawn an exhausted... Oh, right. So, wait, what? I kind of want to take this and see what exactly that means. Spawn an exhausted colonist. Oh, right. Okay, so I'm assuming it puts someone at the homeworld who just can't take an action that turn. That does nicely offset their inability to spawn new lizard people. All right. I really want to see how this works. And plus, I am going to be gaining people. Let's go ahead and take this one. All right, so gaining people. Oh, shoot. Okay, so, oh, yeah, now I'm going to be hurting for oxygen. So let's go ahead and settle this guy here so he's not breathing our oxygen. If we get a second person down here, we definitely have the fuel for it. So I need to get down here, right? I can come down here and here. In which case, I will, when I land here, I can unfog one of these two spaces. And when I land here, I can unfog this. That's great, right? But also note, if I go here and here, I'll unfog this, which because it requires military points. What are these even called? Military? We'll call it militariness. Because it requires 3 points of militariness to unfog, it's going to be more lucrative than unfogging one of these, probably, I think. Like these, Brett just said, are improved versions of the regular worlds. So rather than going south and then west, we're going to go west and then south, because that's important. That matters. A rock world, which is a habitable spot, which is great, but it's also an easy way for one guy to get both fuel and metal. All right, come down here and down here. Now our processing facility. Okay, so here's one of those 3 choice things. A large asteroid covered with ice. All right, and I think this is consistent. Every time you have this asteroid encounter, you can get a card, cash in a hydrogen for 2 metal, or cash in a metal for 4 oxygen, which we've got people at a jungle world. We don't need the oxygen. I think we'll take the metals. Well, I'm not sure we need those either. You know what? The card's always fun. A way station, look at this. So way stations are awesome. And I like how thematic this is. So look what happens at a way station. First of all, it's free to move off of. Makes sense, right? It's a transportation hub. If I have one guy there do an action, he spends a hydrogen to make a new guy. That's this idea of you're pumping fuel into the way station. Like people are arriving into the galaxy through the way station if you make fuel available to them. I like how thematic that is, and that'll get us closer to bringing in this Temple of Discovery, because we've only got 7 turns. Oh. We are doing fine. This is another thing. If I was to sit a monkey down at the keyboard right now, because we're level 1, he would probably be able to get through this scenario just on accident. All right, so where do we want to put this way station? It can go there. We're using the metal, which is okay. Do that to get us some oxygen. And let's go ahead and have one person. All right, so here's... all right, so if you have 2 people here, and you do this action, then you're going to get the advantage from having the 2 people, right? So if I do this, I'm getting 4 oxygen. Now I can move this guy over here, and like you don't have to stay there. As long as somebody can be passing through to kick the effect up to the 2-person ability. And let's go ahead and cash in that. And, oh, I don't know. JC Lebedev and Chris Markinson are saying it would be cool to have someone from Brain Good Games on the podcast. Brett Lowy is saying that would be fun. Brett, what are you doing next week? I would love to talk to you guys. I guess I shouldn't be reluctant to bother developers about talking to them on podcasts. But Brett, I would love to talk to one of you guys at Brain Good. This is an official tease for the viewers and an invitation for you guys. But I'd love to have something posted for when this comes out. So this comes out the 19th, right? Which is is that Tuesday? Wednesday? All right, now here's another thing. If I was to do an action at this way station, nothing would happen because there's no 2-person icon, I believe. You know, is that the case? I think nothing would happen. Brett, tell me if I'm wrong. Okay, this gas world. So, remember these 3. These are upgraded versions of the regular world. So if you look at a gas world, 1 person gives you 4 hydrogen, 2 people will each give you 2 hydrogen. Look at this upgraded gas world. It's got a military point. But we'll head over here. Oh, shoot, I don't have my 5s. Oh, well, that's okay. And we'll load up on gasoline. All right, 2 more people. The Genesis vats, we will definitely power those. Let's come down here. A water world. And let's go ahead and load up on gasoline here. You come on over here, and we have so much oxygen. Let's get another person out. And you come down here to explore that. It is a jungle world. So again, this is you'll note this jungle world, the default jungle world is just oxygen. This jungle world, we can have babies there. Which I guess we'll do. It's just a population boom. And you, where do we want you? Oh, look, yeah, okay, so now we've got this. All right, when this comes into play, unexplored, let's just see how this works. It might be a bit late in the game to use this. So here, look what happens. If I wanted to put this here where there's already a colonist, it'd say, nope, too bad, you can't do it. You can't just kill colonists. If it had colonist capacity, then I could do that. But I'm going to put it on, we are still needing oxygen, so we'll cover that jungle world. When this comes into play, unexplore all. It's empty. Wait, what? Oh, that means I can use them again. Okay, unexplore means flip back over. I guess that's good, because now they're open space and I get an encounter again? Let's find out. No, it does a weird thing where this guy can't move off. He's now trapped. It's like the end of Mass Effect where all the warp gates went away. All right, well, let's try this and see how this works. Do I have somebody to move? Oh, that guy. All right, well, he's trapped there. I can't put that there. All right, well, let's just end the turn. We still got 7 turns. All right, this is really cool. Okay, so now let's explore a place and find out how this works. Oh, we have to pick a goal. So another Temple of Discovery. Wow, so you could just use these over and over again. Draw 2 when you explore an adjacent sector. Temple of Knowledge, I like that one. And that's if we gain oxygen, which we'll definitely be doing. All right, so let's move him. So that means it was a new card draw, right? That was not a jungle world. It's basically redrawing for each of the open spaces. All right, that's kind of cool. Mig UK says, look, I just stopped being mad about the end of Mass Effect, and now you reminded me. Okay, come over here to get a spot. Yeah, so it's basically, all right, interesting. Get some fuel going. All right, so we need oxygen. Go ahead and take a card. Yeah, we'll take a card. Come over here. Go ahead and give us a new person. All right, let's start getting some habitats set up. The water world we'll put right there. At this point, I'm not really finessing it because it's just a matter of a few turns. All right, let's see. You guys come off of here. And let's see, that'll be that. Oh, and then Genesis vat. Yeah, we've got enough oxygen. All right, so this place is lousy with colonists. They just need a place to live. Kind of want to use this for the military power so we can uncover these 5s. So I don't want to cover my... Let's see, we'll cover that water world. All right. All right, a starbase. Someone can live on that. All right, so after this, we will need 2 more living spaces. We'll put the starbase right there in the middle. Now, the starbase is one of those military cards I was talking about that, like the propulsion gel laboratory, gives you double movement. So now we can easily gad about the entire solar system. All right, let's oxygen up. You come over here to the processing facility. We need to give you some company there. Man, that Temple of Discovery was awesome. Oh, shoot. Okay. Oh, dagnabbit, I didn't mean to do that. There. All right, so people just need places to live. We can find those by exploring. There we go. There's our infested colony, and that's it. All right, so we'll move people, have them start moving into the infested colony. I think we can actually finish it up this turn. Yeah, we have the gas for it. Settle. Settle. We need 3 more. Settle. We have no more people. This jungle world will give us someone. So yeah, we just... Alright, we need 1 more person. Oh! I was wondering... Right, I keep forgetting I use all of my oxygen. I had 18 oxygen stored up and was a little bit surprised to see it all vanish, but I forgot. Lizards breathe up all their oxygen at the end of the turn. Duh. I even pointed that out early on. Alright, there we go. We have just won as the lizard people. Alright, we've unlocked a new card, Barracks. It's a jungle world card that produces oxygen, has plenty of room for people to live in. I think previously the jungle world habitat was called like a hunting grounds, and only 1 person could live there. Oh, look at this. You get military power by settling people there. I like that. I think that's a new dynamic as well. I don't think I've seen that on any other card. JC Lebedev correctly points out that I am now the Lizard King at level 2 lizards. All right, let me show you guys a human game, and then I'm going to let you guys go and enjoy your weekend. Because, yeah, you can't leave until I've played a human game. So, look, I have different levels for each race. If I want, I can click random, and then I get, I think it's something like 20 bonus experience points. I wasn't super impressed with the bonus, but if you just click random, it will let you, it'll randomly assign you a race, and you'll get a little moderate bonus. The reason I think this is not worth doing is because at this point when I play, I'm kind of feeling obligated to keep playing as the Raccoon so that I'm progressing towards unlocking whatever this race is. Because if I play the humans and the Formids, it does absolutely nothing. Zero, zilch, nada to progress me towards unlocking these guys. And that I kind of have an issue with. And yeah, so I unlocked the Barracks. At this point, there's only 2 more cards that I haven't seen. All right, let's look at a human game. Let's see what home world we get. Fingers crossed for Novalis. No, yeah, Novalis, right. Okay, so this one's awesome. This is basically easy mode. I can convert this for 2 metal, and I can only do this once, into a place that has 3 habitat spots. And I need to get 14 people settled here in 8 turns. Each turn, I get a person and a card. How easy is that? All right, so there's our rock world. We need a jungle world and a gas world to start off. There's our jungle world, and there and work it. There's our gas world down there, but hopefully we can get one closer. It's a rock world. All right. Oh, shoot. We're out of gas, so let's go ahead and burn. Oh, shoot. Oh, look at this. Propulsion gel plant. I want that. I definitely want that. And I want that Barracks, too. Bubble pods. I want that. I want all of these. Alright, so we'll just draw a card, and then you can move here. Alright. Alright, so you come over here to get some iron going. And I think we want these bubble pods to give us a free oxygen every turn. Left Empty says, you're too focused on the unlocks. And then he does some sort of frowny face emoticon. Brett Lowry says he could potentially look into making randoms count for your current race that you're unlocking or something. Brett, I think that is just from a psychological perspective. If I'm playing and it is not, if I can play either mode A or mode B, but mode A advances me in the metagame, whereas mode B does not, I feel like your game design is disincentivizing you from playing mode B, unless there is a separate unlockable for mode B. So at this point, mode A, which is only play the Raccoon, the reptiles for me. Like right now, mode A, play the reptiles, is the only way I'm going to unlock the Yawn. Mode B, which would be playing random, unless I got the reptiles, or playing the 4 mids of the humans, that's not going to help me unlock whatever the Yawn are. And right now, I'm really enjoying this game, and I want surprises, like, oh, what does this cool new race do? What do the Yawn do? Yondu, haha. I'm Mary Poppins, y'all. I just quoted Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Brett Laurie says, nice recovery. You were hydrogen starved. I know, right? You guys put my gas world way down here. So I am curious, Brett, is there a pre-designated layout for the 8 surrounding cards? Like, is this necessarily a gas world? Is it going to be always rock, jungle, and gas immediately around here? I don't know if that's the case. Let's actually find out. No, all right. So my gas world's way down here. 2 gas worlds down there. Yeah, I just wish, because it is, as I mentioned at the head of the podcast, there's so many games that are doing a great job of translating card play into video games without, and still making clear that it's card play. You know, ideas of the stacks. How many are left in this stack? How many is in that stack? I wish that we knew more about how the universe was generated. Like, I like now knowing that the 3s are all upgraded versions of the basic worlds, and those 3 choice encounters are always in the 5s or 8s. That's cool to know. In a normal card game, on a tabletop card game, you would have to know that, because you'd be setting it up. This is another thing I thought about asking Pony Carnival, but yeah, you know what? There's enough real estate that I do think. In some of the games you've been seeing me play so far, I have not been upgrading worlds with production. But sometimes I am upgrading worlds with production, but the only indication of that is this little tiny bit right here. And Pony Carnival is saying it might be nice to have some indication, maybe up here, that shows you what you're going to get when you press end turn from production. And yeah, I kind of agree with that. Because especially there are times when you're going, like I'm about to get 2, well, not about. Yeah, I think I might make these. I'm about to pump up my oxygen production with bubble pods in this barracks. Actually, not the barracks yet. I need that jungle world. Oh, shoot. Speaking of oxygen, oh gosh, I need to breathe. Okay, this is terrible. When I said this is terrible, I meant this is going exactly according to plan. Pony Carnival is saying he was trying deleting different files to get rid of the planet in the background. Pony Carnival also, true story. I think Axis and Acres had been out for like months, right? It wasn't anything new. When he tried it, after booting it up, he immediately went into the discussion channel, the little discussion forum on Steam, and said, I hate the blowing leaf. There was an animated leaf that would go across the background in Axis and Acres. He was like, I really hate, he rage posted about the blowing leaf in Axis and Acres. I think within a matter of days, if not the next day, Brain Good Games put in the options screen a checkbox where you could disable the blowing leaf. So yeah, this, I mean, I like what they're going for because, you know, it's space themed and all the words are very spacey. So naturally all this real estate, you want to do something spacey with it. But like, you know, when I had that orange planet before, it made these little metal icons all but invisible. So I guess, do these need to be translucent even? Maybe get rid of that. Yeah, like that's a little lost, but not, yeah, so. All right, at any rate, let's see, where were we? We're trying to settle 14 humans from the planet Novalis in 8 turns. Okay, good lord, where are we? Okay, so we're fine with oxygen. We need more fuel. I have no more movement. I could bring a new dude in. Could I bring him in close enough to get fuel going? Yes, I can. What do I want to burn? Not the bubble pod. Oh, yeah, let's build these. Right, to get the oxygen going. All right, so this bubble pod, you can cover up that stupid water world. All right, so now we've got an oxygen and a colonist being created every turn, and a card, a free card. Okay, do I want to... I don't think I'm going to be needing too much metal. It is a lovely card, because if I drop it here, I can get some buku metal production next turn. I think I'm going to do that. There we go. All right, well, we are well on our way to finding homes for the fine people of Novalis. Metropolis is good. Okay, so here's an example. It's just a straight resource dump instead of a card. I think I want this, though. All right, so we have to gain metal, which we planned to do anyway. Oh, fuel. All right, here we go. Watch this. I could get 9 metal off of this industrial mine if I wanted. So Brett Lowy is saying the transparency is a trade-off because it looks really cool. Okay. I mean, that's certainly subjective. Like, I agree that it adds to the visual idea of, hey, there's a planet there. But that orange planet swallowing up this icon right here, just that is a no-no. You also, by the way, lose these little things, which is this is the artwork in the game, the iconography, which I think is far better than the picture in the background, by the way. But yeah, I understand you guys, the trade-off between aesthetics and information, I do not envy any game developer who has to deal with that. Let's see, what else? Pony Carnival's saying he wants a bland, readable version. I kind of feel the same way eventually. But, when people see screenshots, does that... Like, do people seeing a screenshot of a big old planet in the background versus a bunch of tiny icons, does that grab the eye more? Probably. If there's one person I'm less envious of than the designer who has to deal with the trade-off between aesthetics and information, it's the designer who has to worry about selling the game to people who aren't already going to buy it, making it eye-catching on Steam. Brett is saying we will have a basic bland mode. I like that. And he's saying, as far as I can tell, the planet's good for screenshots. Yeah, absolutely, because this says science fiction. Like, if I look at a screenshot on Steam, because there's this little line of screenshots underneath on the store page, all these little cards don't say anything. They just say, oh, a bunch of cards. But if there's a big old planet, then I'm like, oh, this is a science fiction game. So yeah, but like that leaf in Axis and Acres, which I feel guilty about turning that leaf off. It never bothered me. I never noticed it as something distracting until Pony Carnival said something. So when I booted up Axis and Acres last night to take a look at it, and boy, that game holds up. So my initial reaction to playing this was, oh, I like this way, way better than Axis and Acres. I think that's a honeymoon phase thing. This I think has a ways to go once there's more content in here, once it's clearer about some of the different card mechanics, I think. But right now, Axis and Acres is just so polished and so rich, and there's just the dynamics of that game. I just love Axis and Acres. I love how this plays on that. I love the science fiction theming of that. But yeah, so I booted up Axis and Acres last night, was fiddling around with it and reappreciating how brilliant that is, and that frickin' leaf drove me insane. only because Pony Carnival had said something about it and they added the toggle in there. So I turned the leaf off. And I felt bad about it because I'd previously never minded the leaf. All right, okay, let's see. We're trying to settle people from Nivalis, Tom. Keep your eyes on the prize here. All right, we know we need metal. Why do we need metal? Okay, oh, propulsion gel planet. Yes, please. There we go. All of our hydrogen woes have been solved. Propulsion gel. That makes me think of something from Portal when I parse that word. But I kind of like that it doesn't say, like, hyperspace fuel. Like, that would just go in my brain and then out the other side. It'd be like space generic words. But propulsion gel? Gel? That's weird. That's distinct. That's memorable. I don't think I've ever heard of propulsion gel. I like that. Let's see. Do we need... Oh, my God. Look at all this metal. That's a little bit of overkill. Get some oxygen and maybe have some people start living in these bubble pods. It's not like we really need the manpower. We are on easy mode. Let's get down here. Oh, look how far we can go with propulsion gel. Just sliding across the galaxy. And you come over here. All right, there. So we've got some basic infrastructure set up for oxygen and fuel. We're in great shape. We've got plenty of industrial capacity. We just need to get 12 more habitable places. We don't have... Oh, we could go ahead... Oh, no. By the way, this does not give us military power. So, okay, so thematically, right? Hydrogen makes your guys move around. Everybody needs oxygen to breathe. It's kind of like fuel in other games. This is to build your infrastructure. These are the victory points. You're basically having to sacrifice manpower into this victory point pool. This right here is your military power, and you need it to unfog these cooler cards out at the edge. What is an infested colony? What is the gameplay mechanic for a colony that's infested with, obviously, I think these are the ant aliens, right? They're infested with aliens. Well, the mechanic is the bigger the army you have, the more aliens you can carve out to make room for your colonists to live. That's really cool theming. And that's what it is. That for when you build this, it's going to cost you 3 metal. Every military point you have built up, every 2, is going to give you 1 habitable space. That's really, that just right there. That makes me really appreciate these guys as game designers in terms of matching mechanics and themes. That's the big issue in board gaming, right? Is it a Euro thing that's just mechanics, or is it Ameritrash, which is all theming with a bunch of little tiny rules? And it should never be one or the other, as far as I'm concerned. There should always be a balance. Mechanics and theme, they should always inform each other. And I think this infested colony right here, it's a great example of mechanics and theme informing one another. Brain Good Games does a great job with that. And again, in Axis and Acres, there's just some brilliant stuff in that regard as well. Like the barracks, Okay, so let's get, all right, here we go. Let's get a barracks going. Can we afford to sacrifice one of our jungle worlds? And I'm going to say yes, because we do have a minor oxygen production coming from our bubble pods. Oh, and we want this, so let's go ahead. All right, so we are going to sacrifice this jungle world. Am I screwing something up? There we go. I might be screwing that up. All right, everybody's moved. I don't want to burn any of these cards. Here we go. Brett says, if anybody has any ideas for cards, let me know. Whether it's theme or mechanics, he wants to add whole whacks of them, and he capitalizes a whole whack. Brett, what are you guys on Twitter? Is it just at BrainGoodGames? Is that correct? All right, let's settle. Let's go ahead and get some fuel going. Let's go ahead and settle someone here. Let's actually settle 2 people here. Yep, come over here from the mine, because we got plenty of metal. There we go. We've got our 3 military points from our barracks. If we get 1 more point with this deployment center, which we will go ahead and do. Put that there. now we can build this, and it'll give us 2 habitable spots, which will move us up to 7. We're about to get this thing here, which will then put us at 11. This will put us at 12. We've still got plenty turns to go. Oh, and we can convert this. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we're basically good with what we've got visible, and as long as we just set it up in the next 4 turns, we're fine. All right, you can never have too much oxygen, right? And we're not the reptiles, so we can store our oxygen. Here we go. Brett Lowry is at Brick Road DX. You can contact him there if you've got ideas. At Brain Good Games is the company account on Twitter. So if you have any cool ideas, Left Empty says anything stolen from Alpha Centauri would be a good idea, right? Like mind worms. Planetary, like sentient fungus covering a planet. I actually like, so sometimes you get crossover with indie developers, like Zen Studios, who makes the Pinball FX games. They've made pinball games based on Telltale's Walking Dead, based on Missplosion Man? Missplosion Man? What is that silly pink game? At any rate, I would love the idea of crossover, even if it's just a veiled reference with Alpha Centauri. With like the characters in Alpha Centauri or the fungus planet. I forget the well, Miriam Godwinson. Godwin or Godwinson? Obviously, you know, crazy religious leader. So, you know what, Brett, just steal stuff from Alpha Centauri, slightly change the name. Yeah, Brett says we'll just call them, quote, references or tributes. Exactly. Homages, MIG UK suggests. Okay, let's see. The fine people of Nivalis are waiting for us. You guys, what are we doing? Okay, let's just come explore out here, because now we have military power to unfog these improved basic worlds. You encounter a shadowy alien form. Your mind fills with the phrase, "Speak and I create." So this, I think, is an encounter that I unlocked. At a certain point, I leveled up and I got a message, "Hey, you've unlocked the alien encounter." So this is, I think, basically like a card in a deck, in an encounter deck. So Brett, if you've looked at a game called Age of Rivals, they are a card-based game. Fantastic work. They are really good with giving you a collections screen. And you can go in there and you can see all the cards you've unlocked. And they have a similar mechanic where there are all these cards with cool dynamics. They introduce them slowly. You start with some basic cards, and as you play, you unlock cool advanced cards that fold in different mechanics. But at any given time, you can go into your collection screen and look at all the cards you've unlocked. I would love something like that here. All right, do we want a card for a water world? Do we want an extra colonist? And I'm going to say this is what we're taking, or do we want a medal? All right. You go ahead and live in the bubble pods. Oh, shoot, I needed him for fuel. That's okay. We'll have someone new come down here, make fuel. Who else? We have 3 more people. Come on down here. Not that we need. A merchant vessel approaches. I think this is another one that I also got an unlock message about. If you let me copy your system map, you can have a technology card. Why would we not want to let him copy our technology map? Oh, yeah, okay, I was going to say, I've played the game enough to know, and maybe it's something that Braingood is assuming, because you have to unlock this, to know what these 2 are. I don't remember what this one is. I think it's the thing that gives you metal based on adjacent open space locations. But I would kind of like right now, what's popping up is what's underneath. Is that true? Yeah, what's underneath my cursor. That is obviously not. All right, so that's a little confusing. I do know what these are. I don't really need. I guess, does the commune have space for people to live? I think it does. So I think we'll take the commune. Oh, it does not. But you can convert, and this is unending, by the way. One of the daily quests, I think yeah, there aren't any quests. So there are achievements that give you an experience point dump. I think I've done all of them. Yeah, there'll be another one tomorrow. But one of them was, hey, get 10 points of military power, which I think I did with a commune by just farming it with metal until this got to 10. There would be no other reason for me to do that, but it was an achievement, which is kind of cool. I like that sort of thing. All right, let's see. Yeah, be made fun of. Yeah. So, oh, good lord. Gee, it's an hour and a half. I honestly would have thought I'd been doing this for like 45 minutes. Okay. And Brett is saying, yeah, the intention. And keep in mind, this is a pre-release version. They're still, I'm sure, you know, it's crunch time or however they do it. At Brain Good Games, they're still working on whatever changes would go into a 1.0. But he said that's the way it's supposed to work, is when you mouse over the choice, it does tell you what the card would do. So yeah, this is a beta version, a pre-release version. All right, so let's see. We we have 3 people who can do things. We don't need metal. We are. Let's just have people start settling here, because why not? We've got 2. Oh shoot, we are. Do we need to build this? Not yet. Yeah, we'll go ahead and build this. All right, I have slowed my population growth down a bit, but that's okay. That means the oxygen goes farther. Oh, actually, this could be... Okay, we got Genesis Vats. Good. Genesis Vats go there. If we covered up our propulsion gel labs plants, we wouldn't get propulsion gel anymore. Stock up on fuel. You can, let's go ahead and set up this. It's going to give us 2 points of population. Wait, what am I missing? I thought I was all set. What, okay. We have 8 points. This will give us 2. That'll get, what? You know what? For some, I think I wasn't paying attention. I might lose the game. All right, let's see. Let me do... Shoot a monkey. Let's put that there. You can come on down here. Let's just explore a little bit. A gas world that gives us a point of military power, which lets us explore out here. All right, here we go. And we'll just take gas there. All right, I think we're going to be okay. All right, so we've got a possible 10 habitable spaces. These 2 would give us get us up to 12, and this would get us up to 14. All right, so we're good. We just have to implement our plans. All right, so you go ahead and, oh, it'd be a non-gas world. You can go there. You can go there, and then you, we'll hold on to you for a moment. 4 people, so let's see, we need to get more people out. Are we going to be able to do it in time? 5, 12, yes, we're just going to make it. All right, you head over here. Ooh, a cloning center, that's definitely help us. You settle there, go ahead and gas up, and you come on down. Come over here and settle there. All right, we're set. So we just need to make sure we get 5 people. I know from production this is going to give me 1 person. Oh no, yeah, I can make more people at the Genesis Vats and the Alien Cloning Center. So it's all just a formality now. All right, we got to settle 5 people this turn. Let's make a new person there. You come down here and make a new person there. Oh, actually, we just spent a person to make a... Oh, well. You settle here. We don't even need to use our Metropolis world. Let's see. You come up here and settle there. You come on up here. You settle there. You can live over here. And we need 1 more person, so we'll just burn this card and have them come there. There we go. This is the same sound effect, by the way, when you play Axis and Acres, which is a little distracting to me. I mean, it says victory, but why are there medieval trumpets playing in space? All right, so we got some XP. Don't think we're going to hit level 14. We did unlock the... Oh, no, okay, so this is... I imagine they'll fix this. This is just telling me... I'd previously unlocked them as the humans. Like, this is just telling me, I guess, the last unlock. I didn't just unlock this. I was briefly excited when I saw that. But it's old news. All right, so this has been Solar Settlers from Brain Good Games. It is out on the 19th, I believe, on Steam. Brett calls that sound effect the Brain Good Games Trumpets of Victory. That is what I think of it as. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can follow Brain Good Games at Brain Good Games on Twitter. Brett is Brick Road DX. That's Brett Lowy, over from Brain Good. I am QT3 on Twitter. You can find me there. I'm also here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific. Feel free to drop in and join me of whatever I'm streaming. I've got a Patreon campaign at patreon.com/TomChick. If you enjoy what I'm doing here, I would be much obliged if you just take a look. You don't have to support me. Just, you know, peek around over there, see what you think, and then make your decision. If you have something you'd like to see me stream, type into any comment for any video I vote for and the name of your game. I'll post a confirmation. It'll go on the list, and Mondays at 7 p.m. Pacific we'll draw to determine what we're streaming on Wednesdays. Thank you guys so much for watching. Everyone have a great, great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Cheers.